You have a connection with Masoli as well. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I've been very fortunate. We grew up in the same area, so obviously we knew of each other as kids, and I followed his career and always been a big fan. And we've been, he's been an amazing player since he was young. And then we officially met when we were with the Niners together. So both living on our dream. We were both Niners fans growing up, and we really met and connected, and we've been staying in touch ever since. So an amazing person, amazing football player, and I'm just honored to consider him my brother.
These connections and these relationships you build throughout your football path, does that give you perspective on just where you've been, and
right?
Just like I mean, it's probably rewarding to know that this guy you met, and now you guys are going to be on the same field, opposing each other.
Definitely, it's special, and it's definitely special with Masoli. I feel like we think a lot alike, and I definitely consider him a brother. So it's gonna be special with him for sure. But it just shows how long I've been around and how many places I've been. I think when you play with that many different teams, you're lucky to interact with a whole bunch of different people. So yeah, it's good to have connections, and at the end of the day, that's what you're gonna take away from this game is the people you met. You're not gonna remember the games or the scores or anything like that. You're gonna remember your teammates and the time in the locker room and the friendships that you build.
McLeod, in this league, the Labor Day is considered sort of like the unveiling, like the official football gets ramped up. Are you aware of the rivalry that is Toronto, Hamilton, and Labor Day? And
oh, definitely. We're very aware of it, and we know that they don't like us, and we don't like them. So we know how big it is, and this is the start of playoff football. So it's the second half of the season. That's where we got to crank it up and get going. And we didn't have a good first half, so we know how much work we have ahead of us. And this is the first game, and it's the most important one. So we're definitely investing, and we know how important this game is.
When you look at the film from Montreal, what did you key in on about yourself in particular that you need to improve first off?
Just inconsistency. I think sadly it's the same story as the week before. I think just being consistent on a play in and play out basis, and not being the one to let the rope go. Being consistent and being the guy that makes everything work. Unacceptable missed throws in my opinion. I think if there's an open receiver, I should never miss him. So. And that all goes back to fundamentals. That's how you hone in, and that's how you do execute. It's consistent. Is the only way you can do that is through fundamentals. So building back with that and hopefully correct those and never make those mistakes again.
We saw how vital it became with Anthony Coombs and how reliable he was in his return. Now we know there's some more injuries and shuffling of the roster. How do you approach those situations and new guys, especially when you've got some extra time in a week like this to talk to them and work through some things?
Definitely, and we're very fortunate we have extra time this week because it's a next man up mentality, but at one point I was the next man up. So I definitely, with those guys, and we have full faith and confidence in those guys, and we're excited to see them go out there and perform. And yeah, it's definitely, it's a step up. Everybody's going to step in, and we've had a lot of transition this year, which is not easy because you don't have necessarily that same relationship or chemistry, but they're fitting in nicely, and we had a good day today, and we got a couple more this week, so hopefully we can build on that.
With some newer guys, do you take a moment to step aside with them? What's the dynamic like off of the practice field?
Oh, see, I'm crazy about reps, so I'm always asking for more reps and more throws, but I know that their legs are tired too, so I have to balance it out. But definitely, the more reps I can get with them, the more throws, the more I can feel how they come out of this break, how they're setting them up with their cuts and their kind of their steps and everything like that. So the more reps I can get, the better, and we're definitely taking full advantage of these weeks and these days.
McLeod, what have been your impressions of Miles White?
He's a great player. Excited to have him on the field. He's been here for a couple weeks now, and we're very excited. I think it's time to go, and we've all been watching him do well in practice. So he's put in the time, and he's a very intelligent football player. I mean, he picked up offense up very quickly, and high intelligence, high motor, high speed. We're excited to see what he can do out there.